Today we will be doing inequalities with variables on both sides in word problems. So before we get to the word problems, let's go ahead and review what each one of these symbols mean. That way you know which one to pick when you look at the question. So let's start with greater than. This means more than, above, over, greater than or equal to. Now this is where it can get a little bit tricky. Greater than or equal to is also no less than, at least, so it has to be more than that, minimum, so more than that. Let's look at less than. Less than is below, under, fewer than, smaller than. And less than or equal to is no more than, at most, maximum. Okay, so keep this handy for reference so that you know what each symbol can mean in a word problem. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to review is just writing the inequalities given the word problem. We're not going to solve these, we're just going to go ahead and write them. So for this, you literally just go down the sentence and write down the symbols and the numbers that go with this. For less than. Remember that less than was a little bit tricky because it flips the order, okay? So it would be for less than 3 times a number. So when you're multiplying a number, which this is your variable, by a number, you just write them together. So 3x is greater than 2 times the number minus 1. So that's how we write that one. Let's go ahead and look at another example. 5 2/10 times a number. 5 2/10 times a number, okay, plus 3 4/10, plus 3 4/10 is less than 4 3/10 times the number minus 1 1/10. So this one just gets a little bit confusing because it has all those fractions, but whenever it says a number, the actual fraction times a number, that lets us know that we're going to tag on the x with that term, okay? So let's go ahead and look at actual word problems here. Easy Car Rental charges $17.50 a day plus a one-time charge of $10.25. ABC Car Rental charges $19.50 a day minus a one-time discount of $15. After how many full days is Easy the better deal? So just like we did with equations with variables on both sides, we're going to go ahead and make a column for our information. So let's look at the numbers for Easy Car. That's $17.50 and $10.25, okay? Now, let's see which one of those gets the X. This is $17.50 a day, so it repeats every day. So this gets the X. And this is just a one-time charge, so it only happens once. ABC Car Rental, it's $19.50 a day, so that I know that that will have my variable, minus a one-time discount. So a discount means to subtract of $15. after how many full days is easy the better deal. So if it's the better deal, that means that it's cheaper. And when something is cheaper, it means that it's a lesser amount. So this will be less than, okay? And then we would go ahead and solve like we would with any inequality with variables on both sides. Draw our line. We would go ahead and highlight our variables first. And the smallest variable is the 1750. So we subtract that on both sides, minus 1750x on both sides. Bring down the 1025, keep your symbols. This will be 2x minus $15. We continue to highlight our variable term because that prompts me to know that I need to get rid of that minus 15. So the way that I move that is to add 15 on both sides. $2x, keep your symbols. And then my last step is to divide by 2. So when we divide by 2, it gives me a decimal. So in less than 12 days, easy is the better deal. This is our answer. I went ahead and rounded down because it's asking for how many full days. Okay, let's look at our last example. At Floor Clean, a buffer rents for $7 an hour plus a fee of $5. At Easy Clean, it rents for $5 an hour plus a fee of $10. At what point does Easy Clean become the better deal? Okay, so let's look at Floor Clean. Our numbers are 7 and 5, and it's $7 an hour, so this gets the X. At Easy Clean, it rents for $5 an hour, so since it's for every hour, that gets the X, plus the fee of 10. I want to know when Easy is the better deal, so when Easy is cheaper. If this is cheaper, it's the smaller amount, so this is greater. There we go. So now let's go ahead and highlight our variables. 5 is my smallest variable, so I subtract that on both sides. $2x plus 5, keep the symbol. Continue to highlight the variable term, that way it prompts you to get rid of the number next to it. That is a plus 5, so the opposite is to do minus 5. So 2x greater than 5. And when we divide by 2, we get that x is greater than 2.5 hours. So after 2.5 hours, Easy will be the better deal. Thank you.